Hello, son.
Hey, Pop.
Well, you've been back a couple of weeks now, and it's time for your performance review. Now, we're not really here to criticize, but really just evaluate what worked and what didn't work as well, so we can all gain from the experience. So I hope that you don't take anything we have to say as a rejection.
Don't worry. I just got nailed to a cross. I can handle rejection.
Well, I don't think you've met Holly yet. Holly, Holly Ghost. This is my boy Jesus. Jesus, this is Holly Ghost.
Hello?
Hi, Jesus. It's very nice to meet you.
Since the three of us will be working together, I've asked Holly to sit in and offer her perspective. First, son, how would you assess your experience overall?
Well, I think it had its ups and downs. Things didn't end as well as I had hoped.
Well, don't be so hard on yourself, son. I'd say you did a fine job, wouldn't you, Holly?
Yes, I think you did a wonderful job, Jesus.
You know, I loved what you did with most of your miracles, but one observation I have is that you used a lot of your miracles raising people from the dead, which is a really nice gesture. But since the life expectancy down there is only about 30 to 40 years, a lot of the people you raised would just die again in a week or two. So you could have been a little more selective about who you raised from the dead and saved some of those miracles for better use.
I just loved all the stories you told. They were way cool.
Yeah, my favorite one was when the brother went away with his inheritance and spent it partying and whoring, and then he comes back and gets a fatted calf, and his brother gets all mad and everything because it's not fair. But he doesn't understand that he could go get his inheritance and leave and spend it all on parties and drugs, and then come back home and get his own fatted calf.
Thanks, Dad. That was one of my personal favorites, too.
Now, there is one thing that sticks out to me most. I think you didn't rebuke enough.
I agree. For example, remember when you're in the boat with your disciples crossing the lake and you're trying to sleep, but there's a storm and the disciples are getting all worried and afraid, so they have a big hissy fit and wake you up to save them, and you calm the storm. Now, to be fair, you did rebuke them. You said, "O ye of little faith." But you could have said something like, "You're fishermen. You're on the lake all the time with storms. Now, will you shut up and let me get some sleep, you bunch of pussies?" Do you see the difference in the rebukes? It's just a subtle thing.
Also, when you fed the 5,000 people, you had 5 loaves and 2 fish. Now, wasn't that supposed to be a trust potluck? That means that 4,993 people brought nothing.
Nothing. No chips and dip, no jello salads, not anything.
So you provided everything else. I thought that instead of just feeding them, you should have rebuked them. Or you could have let them figure out how to distribute 5 loaves and 2 fish among themselves. Let them have their own
Their
experience
own experience.
and learn from it. You know, tough love.
Tough love.
I think what I'm trying to say is I would have liked to see more of that crazy mad Jesus that threw all of the money changers out of the temple.
Yeah, that badass Jesus.
It's not good for you to bottle up and repress and stuff all that anger and rebuking. It'll just build up and you'll end up just blowing up into one big rage. Trust me, I know. I've tried it. And eventually you blow up and the next thing you know, you flood the earth. So that's just something to work on. Now, one thing I didn't quite understand was when all of the people were getting ready to stone the adulteress, and you said, "Let he among you who is without sin cast the first stone." Now, it's not clear to me what you were going for there. Perhaps you could have said, "Let he among you who hath sinned cast the first stone, and we'll get back to you later." Or, "Let he who hath stones cast the first stone."
Or let he among you who hath never had the chance to cast the first stone gets a turn to throw the first stone this time. Or wait, here's an idea. This could be a fundraiser to help pay for loaves and fishes. People give you a couple of shekels and they get 3 stones. And the sinner runs around and they get 3 tries to hit him. And if they do, maybe they get a stuffed bear or something.
Very creative, Holly. Then by using the money you make, you'd have to use less of a miracle to provide loaves and fishes to thousands of people. And with Holly's idea, the people get their stoning. It's a win-win.
Now here's just a thought that's been on my mind. You raised dead people, you healed a lot of gimps, you made some blind people see, which are all commendable, but I'm surprised that you didn't use one of your miracles for world peace. I mean, every finalist and every beauty pageant asks for world peace. See what I'm saying?
I hadn't thought of that one, Holly.
It got by me too, Dad. Thanks for the heads up, Holly.
But son, one thing I do think that was not good form was sleeping in on the day of your resurrection. When Christians are invented, they're going to have sunrise services. And really, you aren't even up until noon or later. I'm not sure that's fair.
Sorry.
Well, that about covers it for me. Holly?
I'm good.
Dad, Holly, I'm grateful for your honest reflections. I think they'll really help me be much better prepared for the second coming.
Well, I think we're done here. What say we go sit on our thrones?
I call dibs on the throne on Dad's right.